Hey everyone, today's a great day to visit my most popular butterfly host plants. These host plants are the most important plants in my butterfly garden because not only do they attract a wide variety of species of butterflies, but they also make it possible for these butterflies to complete their life cycles, which is crucial in today's world. Also, just a note, I will put the scientific name of each of these host plants in the video, and that'll make it easier for you to find any plants that you're looking for and make sure you're actually getting the right plant. We'll start right here in the corner with my fabulous sassafras tree, which is a host plant for the Spicebush Swallowtail, tiger swallowtail, and Palamede swallowtail, and it's also a host to some really cool moths. Right over here, I have a clump, a cluster, trellised vine of Passiflora incense. It is a hybrid, not Florida native. Sassafras is Florida native. This is a hybrid of a Florida native and a vine from South America. It is designed to grow profusely. And this is a host plant to two butterflies, which I get both of in my garden, the Gulf fritillary and the zebra longwing. And it will come up everywhere. It's growing all back in there. Now, mostly back in there, I get the zebra longwings because they like shady areas. They like perimeter areas. They like to be on the edge of something and not out in the open, where the Gulf fritillaries prefer more sunshine. And also, well, here's a perfect example because there's a Gulf fritillary. I'm noticing that the Gulf fritillaries like to lay on the sprigs that are just coming up out of the ground and that are closer to the ground. And there, with perfect timing, is a Gulf fritillary caterpillar. That's fabulous. And it is right under my spice bush, another host plant for the Spicebush Swallowtail. This plant this year, I have found caterpillars, and I found some more eggs yesterday that I brought in. So that's pretty fabulous. And then right beside my spice bush is a wild lime tree. Cool thing about wild lime trees is they can get to be big trees, which I have one that's kind of big. I'll show you later. Or you can regularly trim them like I do this one to keep it small and rounded. And this is where I find eastern tiger swallowtail caterpillars. It's a host to a lot of other things, but mainly for me, eastern tiger swallowtails. And then right beside it is a common pawpaw tree. I believe it's triloba. And it's a host to the zebra swallowtail, which if you saw my last video, you know the fabulousness that I have in my garden room enclosures. I finally have some caterpillars, not from my garden, but they were gifted to me, and I love it. That was a little polydamas swallowtail flying by. And right here I have more Passiflora incense, but there's a flower on this one, and I just want to show you one of the blooms because they're spectacular. I mean, look at that. It's beautiful. And bees, like the carpenter bees, bumblebees, they love these flowers. And look at how cute they are, just working their way around in there. The pollen's actually on the bottom of those little stamens. Are folded down, so they just rub all over the bee's back. It's pretty fabulous. Here's another sprig coming out of the ground, and there's a Gulf fritillary caterpillar. Back here is my wild lime host plant to giant swallowtail butterflies, which I love. I love raising them. I have a bunch of them munching happily away on potted wild limes right now in my outdoor enclosure. Look, today I've got 3 scarlet hibiscus blooming. So beautiful. It is actually a host plant, along with the mosquitoes hibiscus and the swamp rose mallow. They're hosts of the painted lady, gray hair streak, common checkered, and common tropical skippers. I do see gray hair streaks in my garden. I haven't necessarily noticed the caterpillars on these plants. And I also see a painted lady on a rare occasion, but I'm hoping to get them. These, as well as the scarlet hibiscus, which is right back there, are water-loving plants. So I have them in wetland pots that hold water and don't drain. They do go dormant, and they have thrived and come back out of dormancy just fine in their little wetland pots. And then back here in my tropical garden, growing along the fence is, oh, look, more Passiflora incense, but also there is some false nettle back here, which is the host plant to the red admiral, which I've been seeing more of them, but I haven't seen one recently, and I haven't found caterpillars, so this is a hope I hope for host plant. I also have some in a pot out here in the open. It's easier to find, hopefully. And then back here is my golden canna that is making its seed pods now. And this is a host plant to the Brazilian skipper. I've seen a Brazilian skipper in my garden, not commonly though. So that's another one I'm hoping for. I'm hoping to find their caterpillars. This is another wetland planter. Florida has some of the best, coolest wetland flowers. So I have a lot of wetland planters because I love them. And right here behind me is a kunti, host plant to the Atala butterfly. I've been trying to get them established in my garden. Haven't been successful yet, but we'll see. And then right back here behind, I just looked back and noticed there's 2 host plants coming up on their own from seed that spread. This is a little privet senna. They get to be a small tree, beautiful yellow flowers. Host plant to sulfur butterflies. Sulfur butterflies I get for them are the orange barred sulfur, cloudless sulfur, and I think the sleepy orange also hosts on them. And then I just noticed, well, first of all, oh, look, Passiflora incense. It will be everywhere in your garden. But then you will also have Gulf fritillaries everywhere in your garden. This right here coming up is butterfly pea. And this is a host plant to the long-tailed skipper. And I love seeing this coming up here. I have some intentionally planted somewhere else we'll look at in a minute. I also have another wild black cherry tree planted back here that I trim and keep smaller. As a matter of fact, let's point out in the side yard, see that big tall tree? That is my wild black cherry tree that has been left to its own devices and allowed to grow nice and big and tall. This wild black cherry tree, even though I said Eastern Tiger Swallowtails, it is like a keystone larval host plant to a huge variety of species. So highly recommend adding that if you're wanting to support your local ecology. And right around the bend here, is one of my obelisk trellises. It has two host plants. This is the cowpea, also a host to the long-tailed skipper, and something else. I know it's a long-tailed skipper, but there's more. Like this is one that's for multiple. And then also there is some pipevine growing up in here. This is tomentosa, Aristolochia tomentosa. Host plant to the pipevine swallowtail and the polydamas swallowtail. And there are some polydamas eggs right there. I've seen pipevine butterflies in my garden this year, but I haven't found any of their eggs yet. But those of you who are regulars here on my channel know that I love the polydamas swallowtail caterpillars and butterflies, and they are my favorite to raise. There's more eggs. Look at this flower starting to die off. It must have been pollinated. So vines are great to grow on these tall obelisk trellises. And then right back here is where I have my intentionally planted butterfly pea. It likes a trellis, so it's got this trellis right here to grow up on. And they go dormant, so it's just now growing back out of dormancy. There's another little one right here. And then right here I've got another little wetland planter that's got some frog fruit growing in it, which, it's about to flower. I think I've got some flowering in another spot, but this is a host plant. Oh, there's a flower. Look how cute. It's a host plant to the white peacock. Here's more of it in my wetland garden. And the common buckeye. And this is my outdoor enclosure. It is full of host plants that are potted and caterpillars, which we'll check that out at the end. We'll come back by. Here's another wild black cherry tree in a pot, just to show you that you can keep them potted, and they do just fine. This one has been living in this pot for a couple years. They do go dormant, and as you can see, it comes back just fine. We're back here at the scarlet hibiscus again because another larval host for the white peacock butterfly is this Bacopa moneri, also a water-loving plant. I tend to put it in my wetland pots that are full of water. I also did another little planter of it up here in my Florida native wildflower garden. Now let's go over and check out the milkweed garden. Milkweed is for monarch butterflies, queen butterflies, and soldier butterflies. And y'all, remember the snow square stem? I trimmed it. I've trimmed it twice since the last time I trimmed it. And this time I gave it a good chop. So that's why it looks like it does. But over behind it is my balloon milkweed that I grew from seed. And remember, not long ago, I put risers in for my swamp milkweed. Well, the balloon milkweed decided it was going to grow taller, and it overshadowed the swamp milkweed. So I completely moved the swamp milkweed out. And now I have some spicebush, which we talked about earlier. My potted spicebush in here. It is on these that I'll use to raise any caterpillars, because I can just move the pots around and put them in enclosures. But I want to show you, look, my balloon milkweed is getting ready to flower. I love it. So balloon milkweed is not a Florida native, but the spicebush is, and the swamp milkweed, which isn't looking so good. I moved it just across the walkway from the balloon. This gets full blazing sun, which it likes. It likes a wet setting with full sun. So these pots that it is in our pots that hold water, and now it's getting sun all day. So it should start growing a little faster, and it should look a lot better, and hopefully it won't take long. And hidden around the back of this garden, I have a giant milkweed. I don't think you guys have seen this in a little bit, but look how big it's gotten. And look at those leaves. And there's no caterpillars. Well, there may have been. Maybe there are caterpillars down low. I see some little signs of nibbling. But what's been surprising is, here we are on the back side, the balloon milkweed doesn't have eggs on it. The swamp milkweed doesn't have eggs on it. So I feel like we're in a monarch caterpillar and queen caterpillar lull right now. But I do have some caterpillars and chrysalides in the enclosure in the back that we'll go to soon. There's a Polydamas swallowtail now. They're my favorite. I also recently ordered some aquatic milkweed from Joyful Butterfly, and it's still in here acclimating to Florida. But I plan to put this in a wetland pot and put the pot out there in the milkweed garden as well. And then right here I have my roux, which is host to eastern black swallowtails and giant swallowtails. Mostly I find eastern black swallowtail eggs on these, which I haven't gotten any of yet this year. Okay, let's head back to the enclosure. I'll show you some of the host plants in action. There's a monarch. And see some of the caterpillars that are in there munching away on their host plants. Okay, in here I have two spicebush plants that are potted. No caterpillars right now. Caterpillars are inside. I'll go in and show you them after this. I have a pawpaw tree ready for potential zebra swallowtail caterpillars. This is the triloba, the common pawpaw. I have some pipe vine, no caterpillars. They're all either in chrysalises or they're eggs. They're kind of in between right now. And then I have some swamp milkweed, Florida native, Asclepias incarnata. I've got, look, wild lime. These are my giant swallowtail caterpillars, and they are thriving in here. I also have a smaller wild lime here that has the baby giant swallowtail caterpillars. They're so cute. And then I have this one that has the even tinier baby giant swallowtail caterpillars. In the corner, this is a wafer ash tree, and it is also a host to the giant swallowtail. Here's a swamp milkweed that has an active little monarch caterpillar munching away. There's another one right here. In the corner, I have a potted sassafras tree ready to go if needed. And I have a pentas in here to have some nectar available for butterflies that eclose. Got a lot of pipe vine growing back. Here is another wild lime with giant swallowtail caterpillars. Oh, they're so cute. Here's another swamp milkweed. And there's another swamp milkweed. So we're ready for some monarchs and queens. But there are so many eggs in the garden. Oh my gosh, this pipevine needs to grow fast. I have a lot of it, but they're still kind of little. So that's my outside enclosure, and when there are butterflies that are ready to go, they're all flying around in there. It's fabulous. It's working very well for me. And I have this pop-up tent in my Amazon storefront. You can find in the description of my video if you want to check it out. And look what's growing right beside. Oh, look, a bunch of Passiflora incense. This is actually my hidden compost. I throw my compost in there. It's completely surrounded by Passiflora. And it breaks down fast. Okay, so now we're going to go in the garden room and I'm going to show you some of the adorableness that is currently residing in there. They're so cute. I can't believe I have zebra swallowtail caterpillars. It's fabulous. All right, in enclosure number 1, there's a spice bush, potted. And there are 2 caterpillars in here, and they make little tents in the leaves with a webbing that causes the leaves to fold over. And then inside, look, he's giving you his osmeterium. This is a little Spicebush Swallowtail caterpillar. And boy, do they change a lot every time as they grow. They take on different colors and some adorable characteristics, which I will be showing you as that happens. And the other one is right here. He's a little bigger and a little different looking than the one we just saw. Oh, he's given us his osmeterium too. Oh, he's gonna move around. He's giving us some sass. Okay, let me just close it. Let him be. But that's all I have, guys. In here, I brought in a bunch of little caterpillars, eggs, and only ended up with 2. And you can see they come out at night to eat. And so they'll come out and they'll eat. And then during the day, they hide in their little leaf tents. They are so fun to raise. And wait till you see what they look like when they get older. And here is that pipevine that has the eggs on the wire that we're waiting for to hatch, and they still haven't. And then these are the new guys. This is a flag pawpaw. And there are, oh look, one of them's on the stem. There we go. This is a zebra swallowtail caterpillar. Its host plant is pawpaw. I have 4 varieties of pawpaw in my garden. You saw one of them. The other ones are potted. I have a small flower pawpaw. This is the one you saw in my last video that my friend brought me. This is one of the littler ones. And the other little one is right here. And then the bigger one that we saw freshly molted, you see he's rocking the black and yellow for Pittsburgh Steelers. Oh my gosh, I love it. This is so fun getting to watch them grow. I love it. My first time getting to raise these. I also have a little incubator set up in here that I have some spicebush leaves on. They have little eggs on them. I'm not sure if they're viable. That one's turning dark, that last one maybe. We'll see. And some giant swallowtail eggs and little baby caterpillars that are in here on cuttings. Just little leaves that are tucked under a damp paper towel to keep them fresh. I hope you guys enjoyed this little walk through my garden and checking out all the host plants for butterflies I have planted in here. Let me know if you have any questions, and for the end of the video club, post an emoji that reveals your favorite color. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. Thank you so much for your comments. Tap the like button. And if you want more videos, like lots more, then join my channel membership. Bye, everyone. I love the way these guys move. This is a red banded hair streak. Enjoying nectar on my black-eyed Susan. This is a gorgeous eastern black swallowtail. Just visiting my zinnias this morning, and she's beautiful. So now I have to remember to check my rue I have at the other end of my garden for eggs, because you just never know when those butterfly eggs are going to show up.